Joining us now, NBA Today presented by PNC Bank, is reporter Nick Friedel, who's been on the Heat beat for a while, and clearly it is rubbing
outstanding.
off.
It's a lifestyle, baby. It is.
I appreciate you for understanding that.
Always, my man.
All right, besides the obvious of winning a title, what are the further implications of this series here for the Miami Heat?
Malika, I think if they can't turn this around, the core of Jimmy and Lowry ain't going to be able to win a title. Jimmy's going to be 33 years old. That Lowry deal looks awful right now, guys. And Pat Riley is a wizard at turning teams around. But with those two guys at the forefront, I just don't see it happening for this group if they do indeed lose tomorrow night.
Well, I just think if we look at the Golden State Warriors kind of as a template, their older core is a lot of times getting supported by their younger players. The Jordan Poole, the Andrew Wiggins, like those guys. Where are those guys for the Miami Heat? And you would say it would be Bam, but he has severely underperformed to what I personally think is his capability. Tyler Hero has not been the bubble Tyler. He was during the regular season, and sometimes it's different transitioning to being that guy in the postseason, so I'm not going to cast him off yet, but the younger core of this team has not risen and supported the older vets and kind of helped them navigate some of the tougher windows.
I mean, you know, if the Heat don't, make it to the finals, which I think they don't, they get eliminated. Matter of fact, they're going to lose tomorrow. I mean, you have to consider trading Jimmy Butler, right?
Wow.
Because for the simple fact he's 33 years old, he's a max guy. You got to start to have some type of rebuild, right? Like, you're not going to win a title with Jimmy Butler, especially in this Eastern Conference. If they was to win a title, the time is now. Think about it. Chris Middleton is going to be back next year. The Bucks aren't going anywhere. The Boston Celtics are here right now. Philly obviously is probably going to get better. You got the Raptors, you got the Hawks. You have this great
Notice
Eastern.
You didn't mention Brooklyn.
No, we're not. Right?
Kevin Durant.
We don't know what's going to happen with them. We don't know what's going to happen.
As long as they have Kevin Durant.
I mean, they haven't been communicating. So when you think about it, right? When you think about this culture and how they acquired Kyle Lowry and then they went and got a P.J. Tucker, I just don't see, what are their chances after this season of actually competing for another title?
If there's one thing I've learned the hard way, it is never underestimate the Heat's ability to reinvent themselves on the fly from what looks like a position of weakness. I will not underestimate the team. If you remember at the trade deadline, a little teensy thing that went unnoticed. They made a little trade with Oklahoma City where they amended the first-round pick they owe them, pushed it out to 2025. That wasn't an accident. That's let's increase the amount of picks we can trade this year and next year because they're going to look around. You know the Heat, they're going to go big fish hunting. They're going to look at stars. If they fall short, they are not just going to sit tight and say, well, this is our core. We got to bring it back. They are big game hunters, and they are not going to stop doing that. And 4 years ago, this franchise looked dead in the water. Bad contracts, picks out the door, no tradable assets. This is their second conference finals and almost their second finals in 3 years. It's an incredible turnaround. Do not underestimate Pat Riley.
I agree.
So for you, I mean, you were talking about Bam and what he needs to do. I think this is too early for me. It's too early to believe that the Heat are, one, that we're not coming back to Miami, and two, just that this core can't get it done. I just think Jimmy Butler has proven over and over again, we just can't underestimate what he can do. Bam Adebayo, health, right? That's got to be the biggest factor as we're looking at all this. We can't just write them off as this core doesn't work if that core isn't healthy, Richard.
Well, the problem is that the core is getting older. And so that's what that was my point of you got to look at the young players. Now, if young players are making jumps, the older core can survive. There was conversations about whether or not Klay Thompson should be starting, if Jordan Poole should be starting. And we're talking about, I understand that, but that's because Jordan Poole played so well that there were moments where we're like, maybe Jordan Poole should stay in the starting lineup, right? That was part of the conversation because the young player had risen to a spot where he was kind of equal or on the level with some of the stars for the Golden State Warriors. They need Bam. They need Tyler Hero to look up and be like, they won this series, the first round or second round, because of these two dudes were carrying the weight, and then Jimmy got the contributions.
And at some point, it's okay. Just look at the Celtics, right? Kyrie Irving left. They let Gordon Hayward walk.
Terry Rozier
for the development of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and they gave him the keys. I feel like the leap that Tyler Hero has taken this season, despite before he got injured, I think at the end of the day, hey, it's in great hands. They're not going to hit rock bottom. If I had to start a team and I got Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo to build and put other guys around them, I'm in a pretty good position.
A lot of teams would take that.
Oh, what scares me the most with Miami right now, Jimmy's knee. It's not getting better. He's going to be 33 years old. That Lowry deal, Zach, is awful. The Duncan Robinson deal is looking not so hot right now. And you've got to make a decision on Tyler Hero with the money that's coming his way. I know there is always creativity down here with this front office, but when you look at the core they have in place and the lack of what they're getting from Bam right now, that's what worries me. They're all about titles, not getting to the conference finals and getting knocked out.
I think the discussion of Bam is getting too negative. I don't know why we all expect Bam to be this like 25, 28 point a game scorer. That's not who he is. The player who he is right now is still really good. He's not the reason really that they're losing this series. It's Lowry and Butler being injured and not being able to play well. As Nick said, the Butler knee thing has been a concern since Minnesota. I mean, this is not new.
But
and
Zach, he set the bar. Like, he set the bar for this when he made the All-Star team. So when you make an All-Star team and you start to get in the conversation of all
Defensive
NBA,
player.
but he made the All-Star team as like an
but
18 and 10
I understand
and
that,
5 guy.
but that was setting the bar.
Well, let's
We
go
think
get
he's
those
the
18,
second
10, and
option
5.
on a title team. Is Bam the second option on a title
Not right now, and I don't think the Heat were ever under any illusions that he could be.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.